video is titled Why Doflamingo is Terrifying. Lock in. Why Doflamingo is Terrifying. Doffy.
What is a One Piece arc without a villain? 'Tis nothing but a grand, empty shell, is
Yes.
what I would say if I didn't believe One Piece could pull off a villainless arc. And honestly, I think they kind of already did that with Fisherman Island, considering everything surrounding that arc. But that's a discussion for another day, so I'll keep that in my back pocket. From the get-go, One Piece has had a colourful cast of antagonists, from catboy pirates to an Italian gang leader,
Ooh, the catboy
to
pirates.
anime Eminem, to literally the entire world government. They've all been extravagant in their own right, a threat to be
Sometimes Oda anafanyanga vitu zake zina sound so cool, but when you start thinking about it for 2 seconds, it loses the plot and you start laughing. There's a pirate that its abilities are from a cat. There's a pirate whose abilities that looks like Eminem, actually, for real, actually looks like Eminem. There's one that has sand powers but has a scar on his face, and the moment he finds out he does not, the thing that he was looking for was not there, he loses he just gives up. For whatever reason, Crocodile gives up. Well, technically he doesn't give up, but sijui ali crash out through for no reason. Nani mwingine? Hody Jones. Why was that man so mad? I mean, kuna systemic issues na vitu kama hizo, but at the end of the day, Oda can make things sound so cool, but then when you start thinking about it for 2 seconds, it's the goofiest thing ever. Absolute goofy.
reckoned with, eventually crushed and pummeled under the might of Luffy's Gumu Gumu fist. Except for Kaido, of course, because, as we all know, he was killed by Zoro.
Yes.
Some have been more threatening than others. Crocodile's presence in the land of
Kaido was
Alabasta
definitely
still
killed by
one of
Zoro.
the most daunting
Yes.
for me, especially. I don't think I'll ever forget Luffy hanging from his hook like a dead fish.
Damn.
Overall, One Piece villains are
But
pretty
then
integral to the plot.
You're partly catching you off guard.
At this point, we've been through plenty enough to understand the idea of them. So, through all the big
Because Oda alikuwa ametuzoesha ile point ya Luffy, the moment he starts throwing hands for real, when he gets serious, he's winning. Alikuwa ametuzoesha vibaya. Then Crocodile randomly hooks the motherfucker in his hook.
bads we've seen throughout the years, why is Doflamingo arguably one of the most interesting and one of the most terrifying antagonists One Piece has ever introduced? I want to make a clear statement that I am terribly attached to Doflamingo in a horrible, horrible way.
Same.
I hate this ugly man. I hate his face. I hate his drip. I hate his entire existence.
Yes.
And I especially hate how fascinating he is to me. I hold a lot of bias.
How that section sounded to me. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. I hate the way that you sneak this. If I catch fly, if it could be the rag. I hate the way that you nails. I hate your goofy ass glasses. I hate your drip. I hate your long ass legs that are hairy. I hate your. Let me chill.
For Doffy, mainly due to him being one of the most interesting villains I have ever encountered. And I'm not just talking about the grand scheme of One Piece, but in things I've watched and read overall. And it's not just me. To this day, Doflamingo is still insanely popular. People love this man, whether for better or worse, and while one of the reasons might be for his goofy walk, there is a lot more to him than meets the eye. But I personally believe him to be one of, if not the most bone-chilling antagonist in this series. There is an extreme madness to Doffy that is wildly unsettling, and the more we see of him, the more we discover just how disturbing this man truly is. It's why from the get-go, his demeanor, his actions, they all leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Doing
You want to grab this ugly creature by the head and yell, "What is wrong with you? What's going on in there?"
strong and I do
However,
not care.
I will throw him aside for now, because before I dive into this
Like
huge
I'm bored.
pink coat of feathers, I'd like to dig into what makes a One Piece villain. I'd like to say more here, but it's honestly pretty simple. There are two main components of a One Piece antagonist. The first one is motivation, and the second one is power. Crocodile's motivation was to take over Alabasta. His power was Baroque Works and his sand fruit. Enel's motivation was to destroy Skypiea. His power was his priests and his lightning fruit. Lucci's motivation
Was Enel's motivation really to destroy Skypiea, or was it to make it to the moon? Are we switching things? It was definitely going to the moon, no? Because the Maxim was still built. The Maxim went to the moon. He really powered the Maxim. Are we confusing the two? Plus, even Crocodile's motivation was number one, getting an ancient weapon, then was getting the alabaster. No? Am I misremembering? Do I need to watch One Piece again? I'll take an excuse to watch One Piece again.
Was to capture Robin and take out the Straw Hats. His power was the world government and his leopard fruit, and so on and so forth. It's
Wow.
pretty cut and dry, and what elevates all these antagonists is Oda's insane character writing. There's one thing missing here some of you might have picked up on, and this is something that One Piece has incorporated in only pretty recently. There's a lack of explanation. A backstory. NL didn't really have one. Crocodile might have one, but we have yet to see it. And Lucci got a bit of a flashback, but it was less about his intentions and more about his constant cruel nature. Only pretty recently has the antagonist's backstory been
Robert bitch-ass Lucci
injected into One Piece, with Hody Jones, Big Mom, and Kaido. Judge didn't get one though, fuck that bitch. And while I believe Hody Jones' story was one pretty exceptional conflict, Doflamingo's was something else entirely. For Doflamingo, we got to watch the conception of a monster. Not only that, the moral debate his life story brings up is one that's hard to find solid ground for. You talk to multiple people about Doflamingo and you'll find plenty of them with differing opinions on whether they sympathize or not for this man, and if the reveal of his backstory.
We do not sympathize with the Doflamingo's choices and backstory. Let's just get that out of the way. We do not sympathize with the Doffy's black backstory. We do not sympathize with that man. That man has no reason to be the way he is. He's a sociopath. He's a psychopath. He's all those paths. I don't know how many you have to tell you to put them. We do not. We just like him for the fact that he's evil and for the point of being evil. I'm alone with this. We do not like Doflamingo for the point that he has compelling backstory. No, fuck him and his backstory. We do not care. We do not care. We like the fact that he's evil for the point of being evil. He's a sociopath.
Changed their view on him entirely. Doflamingo's story changed the game. He wasn't just the big bad anymore. He was a textbook full of moral questions and complicated emotions. I say all this, but you probably shouldn't go around genociding kingdoms for your own personal gain.
Facts.
I'm pretty sure that's a big no. Anyway, what I'm getting at here is Doffy's backstory is one of the things that makes him so terrifying. His past has essentially created a villain that the audience can sympathize with. But why is that?
I don't take a minute to acknowledge the fact that that Doffy's father is absolutely the worst, the most idiotic, the most stupid, the most foolish, the most down bad, zero brain cell person that I've ever seen in my entire life. What was that man's plan? Leave the Holy Land and become what? Normal citizens? That does not sound like a plan to me. What do you mean? Zai, me, I'm not hearing anybody out on the fact that the Doflamingo's dad was an absolute idiot. Does this motivation make sense? I don't know. Why would you leave the Holy Land? Me, I didn't make any sense. Where you have everything. And where are the slaves? I don't like slaves. I don't like the fact that people can have slaves. But why would you leave that place? Aligrow a conscience. Na conscience aligrow kwa nini? From where? I need more information for me to sympathize with the Doflamingo's father's choice. I don't accept any explanation on Doffy's father's choice of leaving the Holy Land. I wasn't convinced.
So bad? Is it wrong to sympathize with the antagonist of a series? Well, no, not at all. Except with this particular antagonist, with his particular methods, to sympathize with him is exactly what he wants.
We do not sympathize with Doflamingo. If you sympathize with Doflamingo, you have a wrong problem.
My question for you is, what is Doflamingo's prime method of choice in regards to tearing someone down? His devil fruit, most would say. It's a sensible answer, and it is guaranteed to get the job done. But Doffy's real methods, his real power, and his true expertise are his words. I don't know if you've noticed this about Doflamingo, but he talks. He talks and talks and talks and yaps. Possibly one of the most loudmouth.
Pirates are evil. Pirates are righteous. That was Doffy. He's a philosopher, but at the end of the day, he's just a yapper. He should open a podcast with Crocodile.
Villains One Piece has. The thing about Doffy is he isn't monologuing, at least not all the time. Doflamingo talks because he's doing all he can to worm his way into your head. Doflamingo is, first and foremost, a supreme manipulator. There's great debate around Doflamingo and Law's fight. Discussions of why Law seemed as powerless as he was, considering his fruit is deemed one of the most powerful fruits in the world.
Got in his
And by all
hands.
means, Law could have done a lot more against Doffy, had countless options he either didn't consider or didn't execute. My answer to Law's sudden nerf state, and one of the main reasons Doflamingo scares me overall is, have you seen how Doflamingo talks to Law? Doffy is persistent in calling Law names. He calls him a brat, a kid, and a squirt. He constantly talks down to him. He speaks to him as if Law was still
playing
10
mind
years
games.
old, the
Interesting.
age he was on the day they met. And in doing so, drives right into a weak spot in Law's mental state. Doflamingo is pushing the idea that Law is powerless against him, that Law is still the same kid, his kid that he'd nurtured and trained. He talks to Law as if everything he's doing is some childish outburst, as if Law's an ungrateful brat and he's the good guy that's done everything for Law. And it fucking works. Law is clearly scared to his bones in front of Doflamingo. This
The
man
mind
is not
games.
just an antagonist, but a previous mentor.
The
Law
mind games are
fully
working.
admired Doffy, possibly even believed they loved each other as a family, when in reality, this was all Doflamingo grooming Law into being completely obedient to his will. And this isn't just me making this up. Doflamingo even outright said it to Corazon. And luckily for him, Law was right there to hear it alongside him.
ローってどうするローってどうするってオペオペの実を食っちまったんなら俺のために死ねるよ教育する必要があるな
Had Law not heard those words,
Law did not make up his backstory. His backstory was real, by the way. Let me just clear up the air with that one. Law did not make up his backstory. That's how.
Doflamingo would have been successful in manipulating Law to become yet another person used only for his gain. This manipulation is something Doffy tries to
I'm telling you guys, Doflamingo, we don't like him because he's relatable as a character. He's a sociopath. He's an evil person. He's an evil person. Who taught Doffy to manipulate? That is all I want to know. Because the level of manipulation and the tactics that he utilizes, I don't think the mucus guy taught him all he knows. Did he? Maybe he did. Maybe we are underrating the fact that that person can actually make Doflamingo the man he is right now. The Donquixote family. I don't know. Who taught Doffy to manipulate?
hammer in during his fight with Law, constantly bringing up the past and even saying Law's will is not his own, claiming everything Law's doing is because of him. Through this fight, he's desperately trying to get Law to turn, hoping for his mental state to break and give in to the Donquixote family once more. Law wasn't losing to Doffy because he was nerfed. He was losing because my boy has honest to goodness performance anxiety in front of Doflamingo. If you pay more attention to the words than the actions, it is fucked up, and I cannot blame Law for being scared shitless with this man. But it's not just Law. Doflamingo's entire crew presents the same situation. When it comes to the Donquixote pirates, they're a truly interesting bunch. Doffy even feels like an actual good captain, possibly even a nice one. His crew's first introduction is him saving Baby 5 from a potential fiancé. The explanation for killing said fiancé being it's because he loves you like a sister. Baby 5 then being told, you need to learn to say no to others' requests. Oh, how ironic. On the surface, this makes Doflamingo seem like he really does care about his crew, that he's capable of love and compassion the way a captain should be. But then you look at the entirety of his crew. You get their backstories, their personalities, their words of praise for Doflamingo, and
They're freaks, weirdos, a bunch.
you realize something horrifying. Every single member of the Donquixote family is optimal for manipulating. From Baby 5's need to be wanted to Diamante's easy to sway will. They are not a family. Far from it even. Doflamingo's crew is a cult. and they all worship Doflamingo for
Exactly,
allegedly what he's given them and all he's done
sociopath.
for them. But in the grand scheme of things, they are tools to be used, and if they're not useful, they'll be thrown away to be replaced. We especially see the horrifying effects of Doflamingo's manipulation on Bellamy. Doflamingo made fun of Bellamy as a captain, had him fight and kill his own crew. Yet Bellamy wants nothing more than to be accepted by Doflamingo. I don't know about you, but the idea that someone as
That is a
evil as
toxic
Doffy can
relationship.
worm their way into my brain when I'm at my worst is terrifying. This is where the complications of his backstory come into play. Doflamingo by no means had a fantastic childhood, up until they left the Celestial Dragons, that is. As a child, he was hunted, strung up, burned, and shot at. Through all of this, should we feel pity for Doflamingo?
No.
Can we empathize with him?
No.
Many do. And in all fairness, no child should be chased down and beaten. But there's
Facts.
one factor that stopped me from empathizing with this man at all. An aspect of his life that completely throws everything into perspective. His blood brother? Corazon. Corazon went through the exact same harassment and abuse Doflamingo.
Yes, Corazon is the way out. It's the you should not feel sorry for this man outlet. Corazon went to the exact same thing and became the greatest person on earth, arguably. On the blue planet. It's called the blue planet.
Went through. Yet we can see the clear difference in their empathy levels. An example of this with Corazon is when Law, as a child, was chased out by multiple doctors, yelling that he's no longer a person anymore. Corazon's heart immediately goes out to Law, and he calls him a poor boy who must be hurting.
あの時お前俺を刺したけど痛くもなかった痛えのはお前の方だったよなかわいそうによロー
An example of this with Doffy is when Law explains that he's been through the fires of Flevance. But instead of showing any compassion, Doffy simply has him prove his worth to the Donquixote family. And the best we get
Prove
from
you're useful
Doflamingo
or you
is telling
get
Law
out.
he has the same hatred in his eyes. Essentially telling Law, you're just like me for real.
お前を正式にドン・キホーテファミリーの一員に迎えることにした。最悪の体験から生まれるその無類のクソみてえな目つき。お前には素質がある。
He was in no way moved the same way Corazon was. He even liked that the traumatic events of Law's childhood had left him broken and bitter, because it left Law perfect for manipulation with this desperation to cause as much harm as possible to others.
But the cult leaders are among the smartest people you'll ever meet. Those people can get in your head. I have never been in a cult. I do not want to be in a cult, but I'm pretty sure if I was in a cult, I would not know I was in a cult until it was too late. Moving on.
Others. There is no empathy in this man, no compassion to be seen. During their fight, he tells Law he's seen hell on this earth, as if Law hasn't been through an actual hell of everyone he loved dying, while Doflamingo killed both his own father and brother. And Doflamingo knows that. We know Corazon and Doflamingo had the same traumatic childhood, and Law didn't even get so much as a sorry that happened from Doffy, while Corazon shed real tears of sorrow for Law. This can all tie into Doflamingo's very clear victim complex. Doflamingo is an incredibly oh, woe is me guy. I do believe what Doflamingo went through is awful, but he sure thinks that's a good enough reason to treat everyone else like dirt. Why should he feel sorry for others when he...
So if a person goes through a traumatic experience and does not feel bad for others and proceeds to use that traumatic experience as an excuse to mistreat other people, they are a sociopath on the level of Doflamingo. I mean, she said it, not me.
He has obviously gone through the worst thing you could ever possibly go through, when it's not the worst thing one could possibly go through, is it? Especially not in the world of One Piece. Doflamingo believes he is a victim of his father, of his brother, of the common people, and of society as a whole. He thinks the world has done him
Society.
wrong by taking away his status as a god, truly believing he is one. And oh, isn't it just so cruel that he was torn down from his position as a 1%er? How sad that he can no longer sit on a throne, own slaves, and be untouchable up in his own kingdom of heaven. Do you see what I mean? This is a Doffy hate video, I'm going to cancel this bitch. His gaslighting methods are well polished, to the point even the audience can feel bad for him. But with what he's become, his past is just an excuse to be the monster he loves to be. To be the monster
The
he
manipulation
always
and the
was,
gaslighting is so
even as a
elite
child.
that it
You
goes
had
beyond
this
the
kid running
screen.
around
It
asking
breaks
for
the fourth wall.
slaves, asking for a gun to shoot people. It's not his fault those ideas were never programmed out of him, but he sure had a beating coming.
The mastery of order. Gaslighting it to the level that you expect the propaganda.
Overall, as scary as Doflamingo is, he is awfully interesting. Here we have a horrible man who's sickening to his core, who has experimented on children, owned slaves, killed countless people with slow, torturous methods. And yet, I like him. He's fun, he's goofy, he's a little silly,
Free
and
Doffy.
he's horrifying. But most of all, he's great to make fun of. And really, that's what matters the most. His ways of manipulation also coincide perfectly with his fruit, the literal puppeteer fruit, and everything ties into Doflamingo being nothing more than a master schemer. He's set up a system around him of complete obedience, to the point he can lead anyone in or around the Donquixote family by a hair. A villain who can take your free will from right under you, who can indoctrinate you into being nothing but a cog in the machine, and
Exactly. Today we are not going to stand here and start saying that Doffy was kama kuna mtu tutasikia story yake ni Doflamingo. Sasa he's just a goofy character and a sociopath, and that's why we like him. We like Doffy because he's a sociopath and an absolutely evil character. He's just evil for the point of being evil.
has the power to break you both in body
Free
and
Doffy to
soul.
live backwards.
Now that is a terrifying man. And thank you for watching.
Ooh.
Doflamingo lives in my head
That was
rent free, so
that was
I
short.
really wanted to make a video on him. And if anyone has anything they'd like to hear me mansplain with a video essay, let me know. I'm also hoping to
Ooh, a
talk
video
about
essay.
Law and Corazon at some point, since they're both such interesting characters, so keep your eye out for that. I'll hopefully see you in whatever I make next. See ya!
W video. I mean, I'm not. That was a great. That was an amazing W video, by the way. For real, for real, for real, for real. Hakuna kutetea Doffy. We are not going to. Doflamingo is not somebody that you should justify the action with. That's the gaslighting is so elite that it breaks the fourth wall and goes to the real world. When I'm Toyota and Doflamingo, that person is easily manipulatable, and that person is supposed to be, or is most likely going to be in a cult. What is the name of that video? It's called that YouTube is called Melon Tea. I should subscribe. That video is 3 years ago. Damn. I definitely subscribed. That was a W video. Need to section. Melon Tea. There's a video from 3 years ago. Damn. I hope she makes a part 2 when Doffy gets freed or something. Let me see. The others are not anime related. This one is 30 minutes long that I'm definitely doing tomorrow. Hizo ndo nilikuwa nazo. Hizi zingine za kitambo. This one I've already seen. 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 Well, most of this I've already seen. Let me see if she has like another vid that I can be interested in. We watch that one, then I call it a night. It's in midnight. Damn, it's not even midnight, it's 1. God damn it. Wait, she's actually it's not messing that Doffy lives in her head rent free. Damn. Hey, hizi video hizi ni refu. God damn it. This one is 1 hour. This one is beginnings is 2 hours. This one is 1 hour. This one is 5 hours. There's a YouTube video essay of inasonga for real. Does he not have shorter videos? Ooh, and she streams as well. Damn right. Damn right. Honestly, if she has like a 10-minute video, I watch that one, then we call it a night. The tragedy of Sanj. Killing, stalking, horrible reputation. No. No, 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 no. Damn, these videos are long. Lazima tunakuwa tuna set tu time yake. Tunasema sana. Doffy. Free Doffy till it's backwards. Till it's backwards. The Wings of the Pirate King. Then kuna... Damn, if I can't get another vid, I think I call it an eye there. Ooh, low accurate Luffy is a beast. Save to watch later. Low accurate Luffy is a beast, is a crazy pull. I have to post these feeds. I love tomorrow. I have a long day. So you call it a night, Apple. Chat. Dreamer. Tupatana kesho. Time kama hii. Around that time. Around 10. I need to get a flexible time that I guaranteed. Come rain or sunshine, I start at that time. Most likely 10. I aim for 10, but I keep pushing it. For whatever reason. She does.
Yo, Paul, you're winning this one.